When we talk about wealth and economic success, there's new money, old money, and then there's the Netherlands, an economic powerhouse with a unique blend of historical innovations, modern productivity, and social welfare. The Dutch economy is one of the most distinctive in the world, shaped by centuries of trade, innovation, and even some hard lessons learned the hard way. The Netherlands was one of the first nations to adopt modern economic principles, laying the foundations for much of what we now consider contemporary capitalism. It was an early pioneer in international trade, corporate financing, and speculative investment, and it's been through its fair share of economic bubbles and crashes. Over time, the Dutch have managed to balance the benefits of a highly productive economy with social policies that prioritize quality of life, a model that's as much about the culture as it is about economic theory. So how did the Netherlands get here? And what can other nations learn from its example? A history of economic innovation. The roots of the Dutch economy stretch back to the 17th century when the Netherlands was a global trade empire. After gaining independence from Spain in the late 1500s, the Dutch became the world's most important maritime traders. By the 1600s, Amsterdam was one of the world's great economic hubs. The Netherlands didn't just trade goods, it pioneered many financial innovations that remain core elements of the modern economy today. One of the most significant innovations was the creation of the world's first stock exchange in Amsterdam in 1602. This allowed investors to buy shares in companies, which enabled the funding of large-scale trade operations. Companies like the Dutch East India Company, VOC, were born out of this, with the VOC becoming the first multinational corporation and one of the most powerful business entities in the world at the time. The VOC's fleet controlled a substantial portion of global shipping, and the company's success was intertwined with the Netherlands' economic dominance. But while the VOC was immensely profitable in its day, it's important to approach claims that it was the most valuable company in history with caution. Today, we hear about the VOC's market value being equivalent to trillions in today's dollars. But adjusting for inflation and the size of the global economy back then, these comparisons often ignore the context. At its peak, the VOC's fleet was impressive. But even then, it wasn't the most valuable company of its era when compared to the Mississippi Company in France, for example. Despite the overblown claims of historical market value, the legacy of the VOC is clear. It showcased the Dutch knack for international business and finance. This expertise in global trade would remain a central feature of the Dutch economy well into the modern era. Dutch disease, a blessing in disguise. Fast forward to the mid-20th century, and the Netherlands faced a new kind of economic challenge. In 1959, the country discovered large reserves of natural gas in the North Sea, which could have been a game-changer for its economy. On the surface, this seemed like a major economic blessing, providing a new source of revenue that could fuel further growth. However, the discovery of such large reserves of natural gas led to a phenomenon known as Dutch disease. This term refers to the economic problems that arise when a country becomes too dependent on a single resource. The influx of wealth from natural gas exports led to the appreciation of the Dutch currency, making other industries, such as manufacturing and agriculture, less competitive on the global market. It also made imports cheaper, which resulted in Dutch consumers spending more abroad rather than supporting domestic industries. The effects of Dutch disease were felt across the economy, but the Netherlands was able to manage the issue much better than many other resource-rich nations. The government responded by taxing the revenues from natural gas and using the funds to invest in infrastructure and other industries. They built up the economy in a way that reduced reliance on the gas industry, ensuring long-term stability. This approach helped the Netherlands avoid the common pitfall of becoming overly dependent on one sector. A lesson learned the hard way. Despite these challenges, the Netherlands remained one of the wealthiest and most stable countries in Europe. Its economy continued to diversify and modernize, adapting to the changing global landscape. Modern Dutch economy, innovation, and work-life balance. Today, the Netherlands stands as one of the most productive nations in the world. But its success is not just about output, it's also about the quality of life its citizens enjoy. The country has managed to balance high productivity with social policies that prioritize work-life balance and social welfare. The Netherlands has the highest percentage of part-time workers in the OECD, thanks to laws that allow workers to request part-time hours without repercussions. While the high proportion of part-time workers might seem unusual, it's a deliberate part of the Dutch approach to work. Most part-time workers in the Netherlands are doing so by choice, often to balance family life, education, or other personal commitments. This work culture is particularly beneficial for women, who make up a significant proportion of the part-time workforce. The Dutch government has long recognized that making it easier for people to work part-time helps increase labor force participation, especially among women and older workers. This has also helped the Netherlands achieve one of the highest labor force participation rates in the world, even with a more generous social safety net than many other developed nations. In fact, the Netherlands has a higher labor force participation rate than the US, despite the US being known for its intense work culture. One of the key reasons for this is the country's ability to provide flexibility and work options that allow people to stay in the workforce longer, even as they age. This is increasingly important in a world where many advanced economies are facing the challenges of an aging population. The Dutch model shows that it's possible to balance the needs of a modern economy with the needs of individuals, creating a more sustainable system for the long term. Moreover, the Dutch model may become increasingly relevant as automation and AI begin to reshape global labor markets. Rather than displacing workers entirely, an economy that allows for more part-time work could soften the social impact of technological disruptions. It's possible that, as automation takes over more tasks, the Dutch system of flexible working hours could offer a model for other nations dealing with job displacement. The Dutch advantage: location, infrastructure, and global business. Another key to the Netherlands' success is its location. Situated at the crossroads of Europe, the country is an ideal gateway for international trade and investment. This geographic advantage has been further enhanced by world-class infrastructure, ports, airports, roads, and rail systems that make it easy for businesses to operate and trade within Europe. Amsterdam, as a financial hub, has long been a center for investment and innovation. With a well-educated and multilingual workforce, the Netherlands has attracted many multinational corporations to establish their European headquarters or legal operations within the country. Conclusion: the Netherlands' economic model is a unique blend of historical legacy, modern innovation, and social policies that prioritize quality of life. It shows that it's possible for a country to be competitive in global markets while maintaining a high standard of living for its citizens. While no model is perfect or easily replicable, the Dutch economy offers valuable lessons in balancing long-term sustainability, economic flexibility, and social well-being.